Since 1959, Mattel has introduced various Barbies to appeal to the doll's adoring fans. But along the way, they've made some terrible mistakes by creating dolls that were strange and very inappropriate. Some of these dolls were even pulled from store shelves. Just wait until you hear about the doll whose chest size increased by cranking her arm. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss it. If this is your first time visiting our channel, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today, we'll be showing you 10 most inappropriate Barbies ever. Pooper Scooper Barbie. If you own a pet, you know that cleaning up their waste is just a part of life. When they make a mess, you clean it up. And then hours later, they make another mess and the cycle continues. But this part of pet ownership isn't something most people discuss or even think about. They just deal with it and move on. But for whatever reason, Mattel thought it would be a great idea to create a Barbie doll whose purpose was to clean up her dog's smelly number 2s. The Pooper Scooper Barbie came with a doll and her super cute furry friend named Tanner. Tanner had the ability to eat his own food, and we're pretty sure you can guess what happened next. The food would travel through his plastic little body and come out on the opposite end as rock-hard duties. Then, Barbie came equipped with her very own Pooper Scooper to clean up Tanner's mess. The scooper and the dog's waste had magnets hidden inside of them, so when children would use the scooper to pick up the mess, it would latch on and get stuck to the cleaning device. Now, upon first glance, we're sure you're cracking up just as much as we are. But on a serious note, there are a bunch of reasons why this Barbie was a horrible idea. To start, the small droppings were a choking hazard for young kids. Can you imagine if one of those pieces got lodged in a kid's throat? But not only that, there were reports that the magnets from the scooper were actually coming loose, which posed yet another choking hazard. After the backlash the toy maker received once the doll was released back in 2006, they finally recalled the product and accepted the fact that Pooper Scooper Barbie was a total fail. Black Canary Barbie. One thing that Barbie is known for is her goody two-shoes and girl-next-door persona. This is one of the reasons why the doll has remained so popular throughout the years, and parents are quick to scoop up the toy for their kids. But in 2008, Barbie received an edgy makeover that not too many parents were fond of. Black Canary Barbie was made in honor of the DC comic book character. The doll looked a lot like the character, right down to her fishnet stockings, her leather jacket, and her dark makeup. She looked a lot different from the Barbies of the past, and many parents were outraged. Kids and adults are fans of the iconic doll, but the toys are normally marketed towards younger demographics. For this reason alone, parents were upset that Mattel would actually allow this type of doll to be sold. They thought her outfit was way too inappropriate, and they thought it would send out the wrong message to young girls. Some parents even believed Black Canary Barbie would encourage their kids to grow up too quickly. In the end, it's the parents' choice on whether they purchase a doll like this or not, but we definitely think Mattel has a responsibility to better monitor which doll ideas are released to the public. In the case of Black Canary Barbie, they definitely dropped the ball. Wash and Watch Barbie. Over the years, Barbie has had over 150 different careers. She has been a nurse, a rock star, a police officer, and even an aerobics instructor. These various jobs show young Barbie lovers that the sky's the limit when it comes to choosing a career path, and they can become anything they want to be as long as they put their minds to it. But Barbie hasn't always been so career-oriented. In fact, there are a bunch of different dolls that appeal to her love of being domestic. If she had kids, she would kill it as a stay-at-home mom. But since she doesn't, let's just say Mattel has made it known the doll is still a domestic goddess. In 1991, they released a new doll called Wash and Watch Barbie, and it was probably one of their worst releases to date. The doll came with a small kitchen setup, some dishes, and a dishwasher. The purpose of the toy was for kids to load the dishwasher and watch as the dishes got cleaned. We couldn't even think of a more terrible idea. Aside from the fact that this doll promotes outdated gender roles, the set of dishes and plastic knives and forks looks like a major choking hazard as well. Leave it to Mattel to create yet another doll that was inappropriate and potentially dangerous. Sun Gold Malibu Barbie. Barbie has caught a lot of heat in the past because of her unrealistic proportions. Many people think her shapely figure promotes unhealthy body image standards for young girls. However, if you thought the doll's shape was the only thing parents were upset about, just wait until you see Sun Gold Malibu Barbie. This doll is a bit different than the average Barbie doll. Can you tell why? Well, it's the obvious glow and sun-kissed color of her skin. In comparison to her bleached blonde hair, this doll's orange skin tone really stood out to the point where it was alarming. She really looked like she'd been lying out in the sun all day. Produced back in 1983, the doll sent out the wrong message to kids, and it also promoted sun tanning, which can lead to some pretty horrible skin damage. This doll obviously didn't come with a bottle of sunscreen either, and we just can't believe Mattel thought it was a good idea to glorify excessive sun exposure. These days, a doll like this would never get approved for release, but things were a bit different back in the day. We really wish they would have released a second doll decades later to show the effects of Sun Gold Malibu Barbie's constant sun tanning. We imagined she'd look a little something like this. Yikes! The Birds, Barbie. In 1963, Alfred Hitchcock released a movie called The Birds that instantly turned into a classic film. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely add it to your must-watch list. For now, we'll give you a brief breakdown of the movie. The film is all about a spoiled, rich socialite named Melanie Daniels who decides to play a practical joke on a man named Mitch. She drives up the coast of California to the home where Mitch is staying with his mom and sister, and strange things start to happen. The birds in the city begin attacking people for no good reason, causing everyone to remain focused on their own survival. In one scene of the film, Melanie is attacked by birds, and it's one of the most terrifying moments ever. Moviegoers clutched their pearls and shivered with fright, and we wouldn't be surprised if some people were haunted by that one particular scene for months on end. In 2008, Mattel decided it was time to commemorate the 45th anniversary of the film by releasing The Birds Barbie doll. You can see that they recreated the attack scene almost perfectly. Can you imagine being a young kid and receiving this Barbie as a present? We're pretty sure you would instantly freak out. There's nothing fun about playing with a doll who's getting swarmed by birds and fighting for her life. Tisk tisk, Mattel. Talking Barbie. Mattel has released numerous Barbie dolls that say fun and cute phrases. However, in September 2014, this talking doll received a lot of backlash. The doll was based off of Barbie's web reality series called Barbie's Life in the Dream House. The toy was preloaded with 15 recorded messages, such as, "There is no substitute for glitter," whatever that even means. One woman purchased the doll for her child, and when she heard one of the pre-recorded phrases, she was absolutely shocked. The mother swore the doll dropped the F-bomb, so she immediately returned the doll to the store where she purchased it from. Once news hit about the Barbie's potty mouth, it caused a wave of concern on the internet. Mattel finally addressed the issue by saying the mother must have misheard what the doll was saying. Instead of saying, "What the F," Mattel claimed the doll was really saying, "Off the hook." Those two phrases are so different from each other. It would be hard to get them confused, don't you think? Off the hook is a popular term that's used in the doll's web series, but the mom and other parents were convinced that Mattel wasn't telling the truth. Considering many of the mishaps the doll maker has had in the past, we wouldn't put it past them to accidentally load an obscenity into one of their toys. Growing Up Skipper. One thing about this classic doll that frustrates people the most is that Barbie never really grows up. Even though she was introduced back in the 1950s, she has pretty much stayed the same age her entire life. Mattel agreed that it was time for one of the dolls to grow up and go through puberty. And Barbie's little sister Skipper was the lucky winner, or shall we say unlucky. The Growing Up Skipper doll was advertised as 2 dolls in 1 for twice as much fun. Sounds like a good time, right? Well, parents soon realized that there was nothing exciting about this doll at all, and many of them were shocked when they saw all the inappropriate places Skipper was growing. To make the doll change from a young girl to a teenager, kids were told to turn the doll's arm in a circular motion. The doll would then grow an inch in height. And you know what else grew too? Her chest size! After its release in 1975, parents were not pleased at all. We're not sure who approved this doll for production, but we wouldn't be surprised if they got fired as soon as the backlash started to roll in. Mattel finally realized they made a horrible mistake by putting this doll on toy store shelves. So they did the right thing and stopped production and got rid of Growing Up Skipper immediately. Good riddance. OREO Barbie. Combining Barbie with one of the most delicious cookies of all times seems like a genius idea, but this next doll is so cringeworthy in so many ways. In 2001, Nabisco teamed up with Mattel to create a doll called OREO Fun Barbie. We're not sure what the real purpose of this doll was, except to promote both brands. It was basically just a doll dressed up in some pretty tacky Oreo-inspired gear, although we must say her Oreo crossbody purse was pretty stylish. The doll was made in Caucasian and African American versions, but it was the African American doll that many people thought was completely inappropriate. You see, the term Oreo is a derogatory term that's used to define a black person who acts white. Obviously, only someone who's familiar with the term would find this doll offensive, and it's pretty clear the people at both Nabisco and Mattel were clueless. They didn't see anything wrong with promoting the cookie alongside the African-American version of the toy. We can understand all the outrage, but we think this was just a case of the bigwigs at both companies being misinformed. Even though this doll was deemed inappropriate, the toy maker didn't have the OREO Fun Barbie pulled from shelves, and many people forgot this doll existed as time passed by. Despite this minor slip-up, we're still big fans of the doll, and Oreos too. Amy Winehouse. Dolls recreated after some of the most legendary and iconic figures in the entertainment industry are nothing new. These dolls are usually purchased as collector's items by older Barbie lovers worldwide. But some of the most amazing celebrity-inspired dolls weren't released by Mattel at all. One creative artist decided to design a doll to pay homage to the late singer Amy Winehouse. We can appreciate the artist's creativity and talent, but we're not too sure this doll is appropriate for the young kids in our lives. Aside from her amazing, soulful voice, the singer was also known for her fast lifestyle. The artist captured Amy's true essence by styling her hair in a towering beehive, which was her signature hairstyle. Then the artist shoved a lit cigarette into the singer's mouth and drew on heavy eyelashes and winged eyeliner. But that's not all. The artist also recreated many of the singer's dozens of tattoos all over the doll's plastic body. For Amy's fans, this doll was the ultimate sign of disrespect. Although the singer was very public about the troubles in her life, her diehard fans cringed at someone poking fun at Amy's struggles and making a mockery of her appearance. Also, some may think this doll is promoting the singer's bad habits to young, impressionable kids. Thankfully, this doll isn't sold at any stores, and it isn't promoted by Mattel at all. Pregnant Midge. For some odd reason, Mattel has never given Barbie any children of her own. Maybe it's because she's far too busy being a girl boss and dominating the corporate world. However, her best friend Midge has taken a different path in life. Midge was created back in 1963. In 1991, she fell in love and got married to a doll named Alan. The couple went on to have kids, even though some people said she was way too young to be pregnant. Their first son, Ryan, was born in 1999, and then Midge had another baby in 2002. For her second child, Mattel decided it was time for toy lovers to truly experience a doll giving birth. Are you cringing yet? Yeah, so are we. Pregnant Midge came with a magnetic belly that could hold a small baby. When the covering of the belly was removed, kids could see the fetus just chilling inside Midge's tummy. Parents were horrified at the concept, but Mattel backed up their decision to release the doll by saying it could be used as a great teaching tool for parents. They also said the doll was perfect for families who are anticipating the arrival of a new sibling. Others were outraged because although Midge was wearing a wedding band, her husband wasn't included in the package. Parents believed Mattel was promoting single motherhood, and they wanted the doll to be recalled immediately. Eventually, Walmart decided it would be best to stop selling the doll in their stores. Do you think they made the right decision? Make sure you leave your answer down below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out our friends at The Trendy to see more cool videos for teenagers.